Good morning. My name is Basile Van Havre. I am the co-chair with Francis Argual from Uganda of the process to prepare a new result framework for the CBD for the period 2020 to 2030. I regret not being able to be with you in your workshop. Your work will be important to Francis and I, then to your country representative at the CBD and the broader CBD community. First, I would like to explain to you the process Francis and I have in mind to accomplish this work. Then, I'd like to leave with you some thoughts and some questions that you may choose to consider during your meeting. So, let's first look at the process. We would like to divide the process into three phases. The first phase is regional consultation, and I started with the Asia-Pacific meeting that took place in January in Nagoya. Then we will move to WEOG in March, then Africa, then CEE in April, and we'll finalize the process with GRULAC in May. This phase will culminate with the first meeting of the open-ended working group this summer. In parallel, a number of important meetings will also take place, including the Trondheim Conference for Science. By the time you will have completed the first open-ended working group meeting, we should have identified all the cross-cutting issues and have decided on the structures of the target. This means that there will be a large number of targets, like for HE, or should they be grouped and tiered? The second phase will see various ad hoc process dealing with thematic issues. Some have already set process, like for resource mobilization and for digital sequencing information. There, we only need to ensure that the solution is agreed to at the right time. Others will need their own working group under the open-ended working group. I suspect this will be the case for terrestrial and marine landscape and for reporting and accountability. We should have outcome of this process coming back to the February and July meeting of the open-ended working group, and there will be opportunities to check on the process in November this year. Finally, the third phase of this work is to bring it all together in the summer of 2020 and prepare a consolidated package that will hopefully have resolved the vast majority of the issues and leaving only a small portion for our political leaders to resolve. Our challenge is to find the right balance between parties who want a strong process with lots of meetings and those that are challenged to allocate time to this. But now let's turn our attention to a few points that you may want to consider for your workshop. First, you should keep close to the list of questions developed for the regional consultation. They're a useful reference framework for you, and you will find them on the CBD website. Francis and I have started a blog for the CBD post-2020 webpage. You should visit those pages regularly, you'll see some update. I also will be using my Twitter account to post update and alert people when new postings are put on the blog and new document. Now, let's look at a few ideas. First, is what should be the link between the vision and the targets? And consequently, how should we characterize this vision? Up to now, it has been expressed in the very simple and broad term, living in harmony with nature. The convention objective provides us with some useful framework to detail this vision. The first objective is conservation, and therefore the vision should be something like healthy and resilient terrestrial and marine ecosystem and species population. The second objective focuses on access and benefit sharing, and the last one on sustainable use. We'll have to define what living in harmony with nature means for those two objectives. But focusing on the first one and taking as an example terrestrial landscape, the current target 11, the very famous 17%, and then how does it link with 2050, living in harmony with nature and having a resilient and healthy ecosystem? What is the proposed plan? Ratcheting up protected area, conserved area from 17 to 30, or perhaps 50? Do we need to worry what the other 50% will be about? Or how do we move from a protected and conserved percentage game to a move to something that is more of a whole of landscape approach? What I'm trying to illustrate is that decadal targets should be logically distributed within a 50-year framework. So keep this in mind during your discussion. The second point I want to make is the one around the structure of the targets. The HE framework has grouped 20 targets around 4 goals. Practically, a very limited number of targets have been visible and in fact have enabled progress. Using the logic above, could we imagine a system with various groups of targets, some that are directly linked to reaching our vision, others that are important contributing function? Could we have systems that clearly identify a very small number of targets that directly contribute to the vision, and then set an effective planning and reporting review mechanism that would provide more flexibility to countries? Finally, I would like to say a few words about resources. In preparing for a separate event on nature that is organized in April in Montreal, we started looking into funding commitment by government, private sector and philanthropy, and the number is surprisingly high. Yet, we're not seeing the progress we're looking for. So it is either that the need is larger than we ever thought, or that funding is not applied the most efficiently. How could a result framework can address this? Could stronger links between the targets and vision and stronger accountability be part of the response? Or are our investment just an early part of a longer-term project that will provide dividend only at a point in future? I hope my remarks were useful to you. I'm deeply thankful that you decided to allocate some time and energy to that important question, and I'm looking forward to getting your thoughts and report. Thank you.